The following video contains main story spoilers for FF14: A Realm Reborn. Variant and Criterion dungeons are new types of content to be added to FF14. Based on the tried and true model set by Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High, it'll see us delve into the depths of the long lost nation of Sil'dih, for a purpose we've yet to learn. We do know, however, that the Sultana has taken a personal interest in this, which means the reason we're venturing there must be important. This video will explore this subject from a lore perspective, and let me tell you, this may be some of the most interesting content yet in that regard. The one location we have confirmed in these dungeons is called the Sildih Subterrane, showing that the lost nation of Sil'dih will be our focus. Long ago, just after the fall of the nation of Hatch, and the ushering in of the 6th Astral Era, the survivors of Hatch made their way to Thanalan, where they would go on to form a new city and a new nation, which would come to be known as Belah'dia. Belah'dia prospered in the deserts of Thanalan, extending its reach to every corner of the region. It brought a new era of peace and prosperity to Thanalan. However, this peace was not to last. At the twilight of this nation, as its ruler lay upon his deathbed, two princes would vie for the throne. These were Sasawifu and Sasagan ul Sisigan. Civil war broke out due to this rivalry when their father finally passed away, which was followed by years of conflict which resulted in Belah'dia tearing itself in two, with each prince going on to found new nations of their own. Sasawifu would go on to found the nation of Sil'dih, crowning himself the king, while Sasagan would found the dynasty with the nation of ul'dah, and becoming its first sultan. We don't know what happened to the city of Belah'dia after this event, but the 7th Umbral Calamity unearthed many ruins dating back to Belah'dia and Thanalan, suggesting they were all abandoned not long after the twin nations were founded. Both nations would begin to develop in their own unique ways, but it seems Sil'dih had the primary advantage, being their nation was built atop many of the underground reservoirs that are the source of Thanalan's water supply. This would lend to the theory that Sil'dih may have been built atop of the original city of Belah'dia. Access to water and the prosperity it would bring gained them the envy of ul'dah as the years passed. So it was, a couple of hundred years later, roughly 400 years before the game's timeline, both nations would again go to war with each other, with the aim of claiming the entirety of Thanalan. Both sides were evenly matched, however, with the war lasting for so long that none could remember why it even started in the first place. ul'dah couldn't take Sil'dih due to their high walls, until a discovery was made in ul'dah. The Thaumaturge's Guild of ul'dah was very different than what it is today. Today, they know the weight of the knowledge and powers they wield and keep watch over. This was a direct result of what they were about to do. The guild devised a new weapon, a powder, which when inhaled would cause the death of the subject. But even worse, the victim would then rise as a mindless and aggressive zombie. This powder would come to be known as the traitor's sperm. ul'dah forces then loaded their catapults with traitor's sperm and launched it over the high walls of the city of Sil'dih. Sheer panic then erupted within its walls, and many died and rose again to kill. ul'dah played the game very smartly. They fabricated a story that Sil'dih had started to turn their own people into zombies in order to win the war with ul'dah. This was enough to turn everybody against Sil'dih, and unable to defend itself from attacks outside while dealing with the undead inside their walls, the nation of Sil'dih was conquered by ul'dah. After a few short years, when the undead were cleared away and entrances to the underground were sealed, the nation of ul'dah abandoned their own city and moved its entirety to Sil'dih. The ul'dah that we know, love and explore to this very day was actually once Sil'dih, until ul'dah took over. That's the full story of the nation of Sil'dih as we know it today. But this is enough for us to infer what we may find below in the Sildih subterrane. Recall back to the end of A Realm Reborn, when the Scions had to escape through the waterways from the forces trying to capture or kill us. These were the old waterways of Sil'dih. These waterways connect to the vast sources of water beneath the city, and are thought to extend much further down. It's likely here that our journey in the variant dungeons will begin, with us exploring down to the very bottom to see what mysteries and indeed dangers await. Remember, Sildih's population were turned into zombies. Many of these monsters still likely reside in the deepest parts of the subterrane. The screenshots we have so far show Sil'dih and likely Belah'dian ruins down below. There is one thing I'd like you to look at though. The sunken temple of Karn is one of the last traces of Belah'dia left in Thanalan, above the surface of the sands anyway. While scholars confirm the temple was used by Belah'dia, they also noted the discovery of ruins beneath it, suggesting that Karn was built upon or possibly itself was used by a civilization long before Belah'dia. It makes you wonder if we may likely find traces of such an old civilization or even Belah'dia at the lowest levels of the Sildih subterrane. If I was a betting man, I would bet on Allag, given its status in Eorzea long before the nations of Thanalan rose up. But there we go. A quick lore primer with everything we know about Sil'dih as of today. I'm so excited for this content as it's going to open up a new window into Eorzea's past. Let me know your thoughts on this lore and variant dungeons in the comments. Leave a like if you approved of the video, and consider subscribing because I have so many more videos coming, not to mention already uploaded on my channel. Thanks all, and now, as always, have a good one.